Hello and welcome to Smells Like Home Cooking, where we show you our favourite foolproof recipes for you to try at home. Today we're going to try something new. I've made many quiches before, but today I'm going to try out a recipe that's been released to celebrate the coronation of King Charles III here in the UK. You're going to need a 20cm or 8-inch flan tin and these ingredients, which I'll also put in the description below. We'll start with the pastry, add the salt to the sifted flour, and then add the butter and the lard. If you prefer, you can just use all butter. Rub the flour into the butter with your fingers, lifting up as you do so to get some air into the mixture. While I'm doing that, it gives me a great opportunity to remind you to subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Just click the link below. Continue rubbing the mixture until you get to a breadcrumb-like consistency like this. Next, add in a little milk at a time and bring the ingredients together with a knife. You don't want to use too much milk, so add it a little at a time until the dough just starts to come together. Once it looks like this, bring it together with your hands to form a ball. Then wrap this ball in cling film and put in the fridge for about 30 minutes. While that's resting, we can start on the filling. Beat together the eggs, the milk, the cream, and then the tarragon, pepper and salt. I'm using dried tarragon here, but you can use fresh if you've got it. Give that a good mix together and remember to preheat the oven to 190 degrees C or 170 degrees fan. Once the dough's had its 30 minutes, put it on a lightly floured work surface and then roll it out to a circle which is a bit larger than the top of the tin that you're going to put it in. You want it to be about 5mm thick. Once you've got the right size, lift the pastry onto a rolling pin and take it over to your flan dish like this. I floured mine just to make sure that it doesn't stick. Roll it over the top and then lift it up around the edges to push it down into the tin. Make sure to repair any holes or cracks because you don't want the filling to leak out and make a mess of your oven. I'm trimming the top of my case now to make it neat, but if you have a shallower tin, you may want to blind bake first in case it shrinks too much. Next, we stab the base with a fork and then chill for another 30 minutes. Next, we need to line the pastry case with greaseproof paper. Here's a top tip. If you scrunch the paper at first, you'll find it a lot easier to mould into shape. Add some baking beans to weigh down the pastry so that it doesn't puff up in the oven. If you don't have these special beans, you can use dried beans or even just uncooked pasta or rice. Cook the case for 15 minutes in the preheated oven. Blind baking like this prevents the dreaded soggy bottom, but it also means the pastry and the filling will both be finished cooking at the same time. After it's had its 15 minutes, remove the greaseproof paper and the beans, and then turn the oven down to 160 degrees C, which is 140 fan. Evenly scatter half the grated cheese into the part cooked base, and then add the chopped cooked spinach and the beans. Before adding the beans, I like to take off the outer layer because I find this can go quite leathery, but it's really easy to do and it's actually quite satisfying as it pops off. My next tip is to take the tin over to the oven before adding the cream and the egg mixture, because otherwise it can spill as you try and carry it over. Now, this recipe says to add the remaining cheese on top. I actually find it a bit too cheesy like that, but if you do add it, please be really careful putting your hands near the hot oven. I'd hate for you to get burnt. The quiche needs to be baked for 20 to 25 minutes until it's fully set and lightly golden on top. It should look like this. So there you go, a quiche fit for a king. You can eat it warm or chilled and with any accompaniment you like. I've made a simple salad here, but you can have chips, potatoes, maybe some garlic bread. Some people even have it with baked beans. Well, I hope you enjoyed this recipe and try it out yourself. Thanks for watching. See you again soon on Smells Like Home Cooking.